I want to discuss one verse, which is Isaiah 11:15, which is going to indicate that the Nile is going to dry up. The Nile's not dried up before. We know it wasn't in the past. We also know that this prophecy for Isaiah 11:15 concerns us, so we will see it. And Isaiah 11:15 hits both the beginning of the Exodus and the end of the Exodus. So that being said, let's walk through Isaiah 11:15. The Lord will dry up the Gulf, actually known as the tongue of the Egyptian sea. With a scorching wind he will sweep his hand over the Euphrates River. He will break it up into 7 streams so that anyone can cross over in sandals. Now, before I even start at the beginning, I hope we can all see that the Euphrates River drying up is the 6th bowl judgment to allow us to come back for Armageddon. So that's the end of the Exodus. The beginning of the Exodus should be seen from Deuteronomy 28:68, which is when we go over in boats and the Egyptians will capture us and try to sell us as slaves, but nobody will buy us. And this is the prophecy for that, because he's going to dry up, in effect, the Nile River, and I'm going to show where it's the Nile River. The word for sea is Yam. It includes the Nile, the Red Sea, and the Mediterranean Sea. Now, it includes other bodies of water, but these are since we have the identifier of Egyptian, these are the only 3 it can be. Now, it's not going to dry up the Mediterranean because it would list it for other things. Really, the same thing you would indicate for the Mediterranean, for the Red Sea, because the Red Sea serves more than just Egypt. And this is a precursor or an identifier of Egyptian. The other thing that's just as important is because we're coming over in boats, some of us are going to come up the Red Sea and probably the Suez Canal, and the rest of us are coming to the Mediterranean. So the only other river that's really left is the Nile River. The Nile River is a source of life in all of Egypt. They know it is a source of life. That's what they call it. The source of life is the creator of the universe. But they call the Nile the source of life. I think our Creator's got a special, we'll say, something special for this, for the Nile that he's been waiting for since he created the universe. While they've been saying that the Nile is a god, I think he's going to strike the Nile pretty heavy to show that he is above the Nile and he is above all others. So each time that somebody who's Egyptian says, oh, the Nile is a source of life, you know it's offending the creator of the universe, and he's just waiting. He's going to blow this thing up. But he's going to blow it up in a way that gives him glory. And how does that happen? Because we are going over there by boat. And most of us are going to be captured, again, Deuteronomy 28:68. So that when we come off the boat and the officials arrest us, whether it's the military or the police or some other official who says, the boat's stolen and you don't have a passport, you don't have a visa, you don't have a right to be here, so we're going to sell you into slavery. Just like Moses told Pharaoh exactly what was going to happen, I think we tell them, this is what's going to happen. You touch us, you try to impede us in any way, and the Nile will dry up. Not because we have any power. It is because the creator of the universe is going to do this. And when they see that thing dry up, they will freak out. The Nile dumps 300 cubic meters of water into the Mediterranean every single day. They're going to lose it. I mean, we think of the 10 plagues and how bad that was on Egypt. If the Nile dried up, it would be worse. Even in the firstborn dying, this is going to be worse. It's not going to take 10. This one thing hitting them will just send them into a frenzy because they know they're dead. Without that river providing the water, that many people who live in Egypt, and I think it's like 80 million people, they're dead. In days, they're dead. And so that's a quick boom, get out of here. And again, it brings us back to the plunder issue. When The first Exodus, we plundered the Egyptians. We didn't steal it from them. We asked it or demanded it, and they gave it to us. The same will be true. Don't you dare leave Egypt without something. Don't just say, well, the Creator's providing. The Creator is providing this for you. This is His gift for you. You take it. What the Creator gives, you don't reject. So, demand it. Don't go lightly. They know they're going to die unless they can appease the situation and the Creator backs off. And I don't know how much He's going to back off, to be honest with you. I don't know. This is a big one, and I think He's angry on this issue. So, again, it's a very simple verse, but again, it's pretty clear on when it's going to happen. It's pretty clear on where it's going to happen. It's at the beginning of the Exodus. There's not really any dispute on this thing. This thing's pretty cut and dried. And nor is there really a dispute when you read the end and you can see the correlation with Revelation, the sixth bowl judgment. It's cut and dried. And that's why when I hear from Revelation 12 about the river trying to flood those who are with the group, I don't think of the Euphrates. The only river I think that even applies at the time as we're going through is the Tigris River. And the dam on that, the major river, is the Mosul Dam. So, that's why I think the Mosul Dam is the one that's going to break and try to flood us, which, again, a great miracle. That's an amazing thing He's allowing to happen. Again, it's just a brief video because it's a brief subject. It's a brief verse, but it's an amazing verse. And we do know from reading the rest of Isaiah that we can even lock it in to know absolutely that it is the Exodus. And it's the return. And again, the easiest way to say it is, has it happened before? No. The Nile's never dried up before, so we know it wasn't in the past. And Isaiah 11:12, He will raise a banner for the nations and gather the exiles of Israel. All right, we know that's the Exodus. He will assemble scattered people of Judah from the four quarters of the earth. Again, Exodus. Ephraim's jealousy will vanish, and Judah's enemies will be destroyed. Ephraim will not be jealous of Judah, nor Judah hostile towards Ephraim. Again, Exodus. Verse 14, they will swoop down on the slopes of Philistia to the west. Again, the Palestinians, together they will plunder the people to the east. They will subdue Edom and Moab, and the Ammonites will be subject to them. Again, that is Exodus. We know that clear. I mean, it's there. And just in case there's any issue on the end of the verse showing that's the end of the Exodus, go to verse 16. There will be a highway for the remnant of His people that is left from Assyria. Where will we be at the time? We're going to be in Assyria. Actually, where we'll be at that time, we'll be coming down from Nineveh, and so we'll actually be in Baghdad, as there was for Israel when they came from Egypt. So, He's telling us all the details, just locked in. So, hopefully that's easy for y'all to see. It's just, I see no other way of it working. So,